Hey, welcome back to iTDi. We're here in the Module 1, Unit 1, Lesson 1 called a vocabulary lesson. And now we're moving on to activity number 2. And we're going to look at a text about vocabulary teaching, and then we're going to answer some questions. We're going to see what Scott Thornbury had to say about vocabulary. So I'll read along, take a look at it while we read through this together. We convey meaning by words, grammatical structures, intonation, and gestures. But of all of these, words are the most important. Probably the most urgent task facing the learner is to acquire a vocabulary of around 2,000 words as soon as possible. Initially, the words to focus on should be high-frequency ones and ones that the learner can use immediately.
Knowing a word means knowing its form, how it's written and pronounced, and knowing its meaning. It's also important to know in what context a word is used, whether, for example, it is a technical term or whether it is informal. Knowing a word also means knowing other words associated with it. For example, it helps to know that the word nest is associated with both bird and egg. So learning vocabulary is a process of building up these meaning networks.
Words are easier to learn if they have some personal significance. That is why it's good to teach words that relate to the learner's own world, whether they're interests, studies, or jobs.
However, there is a limit to the number of words that you can learn in the classroom, especially if you're studying only a few hours a week. Some vocabulary learning will have to take place outside the classroom. This could take the form of memorizing words from lists or cards, a very traditional approach, but which for some learners works well. It's important that the meaning of words should be clear, and ideally that the words are in context.
Reading is another way of acquiring new words, although you have to read a very great deal to pick up words incidentally, i.e. without making a lot of effort to learn them. A better approach might be extensive reading combined with making word lists based on words in the text.
Also important is continual review of the words that have been studied. This is why it's important to revise the words that have been studied in class and to train students in techniques of reviewing their vocabulary lists regularly.
Are you ready for the quiz?
Okay, far away.
Number 1, learners need to know a lot of words very quickly. True or false?
So basically true here.
I don't know.
2,000.
Let's see. Okay. Number 2, the teacher can't teach all the words that the learners need.
Absolutely true.
Okay. Learners learn words more quickly when they're relevant to their interests or needs.
Yes, they're meaningful that way.
It's important that new words are associated with words that the learners already know.
Yes, that's helpful in remembering and building up those networks. Okay, over to you. To learn a word, you need to know its form, spelling and pronunciation, meaning, and how it's used in context.
True.
Okie dokie. A bad way to learn vocabulary is through memorizing word lists.
I'm going to say false.
Works for some, for sure.
Yeah.
You can learn some words just by reading.
Yeah, some is the key word there. Yeah, it's true, but not so many. Let's see what they say about that.
Do you want me to click true or false?
I think true. Yeah, because it says some words, so I'm reading into some.
I'd go with that.
Yeah.
Learners need opportunities to recycle words they've studied before.
True, true, true.
Indeed. So number 7, if it's asking for what is the best answer, then it could be false.
Yeah, well, let's click finish quiz and see how many we got.
And here we go.
We got 8 out of 8.
There we
now,
are.
if you click on that view the questions right there, it's going to show us that we got the right answers. See? Green, 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 green all the way. Lovely. Wow, we're smart. Let's move on to the next activity and pause the video here.
Okie dokie.